Okay. Because I think
Uh,
what they mean by it won't save maybe a separate thing if I wanted to download it on my hard drive, the StreamYard
Yeah,
save thing. But the YouTube save is something different.
yeah.
Okay. Maybe can you shoot over to my channel and see if it's actually working? If I did it? Yeah.
Um,
If it's
you
showing up,
did on your
uh, let
original, right?
let us play. Yeah, yeah. Not
Oh,
my
let us play.
class. Let us.
Oh, I thought you meant your Archmage Falagar.
No, no, no. It'll be a lettuce.
Um, yeah, I
It's
see it.
it's doing it. So so long as it's showing up, it's gonna save it there. It'll be good, just like anything.
All right, all right, but yeah,
Okay, you want to
James
start us up? Go ahead.
Wan's
Yeah, yeah.
James Wan's Malignant.
Yeah, hey,
So,
maybe Mike is here. Greetings, Mike. Mike is here, so this is working. That's good.
but
Yeah, yeah. James one.
so you said
It's a gong.
last night that
Yes.
it looked pretty generic.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I watched up to the point. Okay, the 1993 flashback when I initially started it like a week ago, and I got a little bit to the abuse thing with the husband.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't really get too much further because it's just I kept remembering what I saw in that 1993 flashback, and I think it was done on purpose, right? Because
Hmm.
1993 B movies look like that. So I was like, this looks kind of cheap. I mean, this is James Wan. This looks like something I would rent at Line Video like back in the day, and not that I have a problem with that, but I just don't feel like seeing something like that now. So I didn't finish it. I almost shut it off after 15. No, no, no. Finish it, Mike. Finish it. It's that flashback thing was done on purpose, and just watch it. It's so, in a way, you could say it's kind of stupid. It's stupid fun
Yeah,
because
I would.
it is. It's you gotta see it. I can't
We
explain
should
it.
first say definitely spoilers. I mean,
Spoilers,
I
yeah.
would say go into this with as little information as possible.
But well, here's the
It-
thing, though. I mean, still, I still say even though this has spoilers and you see it, well, I watched it last week or whenever it was available. Oh, so you did see it, but I still say for those folks that is watching this and you get the spoilers, it's still worth the time to watch it.
yeah,
I think, yeah.
though I think the surprise is like
Ended up
it's
mostly liking it, yeah. Mike says, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
the surprise is it's just crazy because
I
I
did
went
not
in.
expect
If
it.
you
I
saw
didn't
if
expect any martial arts, nothing.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer, I was expecting.
Hey, Roger,
I
Dawnstar, excellent.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
I was expecting a Conjuring movie, like
One of
some.
one of the best films of the year. Dawnstar put, yeah. Seeing her face on the back end. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
But yeah, we'll get into all
yeah.
that. But like,
Okay, yeah. Go continue. Go ahead.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Just because,
When I saw the trailer, I thought it was just gonna be like another like Conjuring like movie, like
yeah.
James Wan's other horror films,
Mm.
and it was
Yeah, yeah.
nothing
Like
like that.
Conjuring, Insidious, and Saw. Yeah, it was nothing like that. Those were like some serious, high production kind of horror movies. And this thing, it was like, it started off like a B movie, and it overall the content is still like a B movie, but the production value was not. It's much
Yeah,
better than a B movie when you see it. I love the great chase scene and the with that detective, the shootout that the brief shootout, mostly the cop or detective shooting at it
yeah,
and just chasing. I love chase scenes. I love films that have like car chase scenes. Mostly it's like a Die Hard or Lethal Weapon, like an action type flick. And this one had that. And I was like, oh, when he was I thought it was going to be like a ghost or something, right? But then when I saw it jumped on him and he was kneeing it and kind of getting into physical combat with it and then dodging the knife, I was like, yeah, oh, this is a physical thing. And then he was chasing it and it's doing martial arts and I couldn't believe it. And then that's when I realized, you know what, this is not because the way they did it was when it was going through the girl's perspective, it looked like it would be a
oh yeah,
spiritual,
we should
you
set
know?
up just in case
Oh yeah,
people
guys, getting
are
too
watching
excited.
who haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So the film is pretty much this woman that goes through like an attempted murder. Like her abusive boyfriend gets murdered one night, and after that, like she starts to have kind of these psychic visions of the person who tried to murder her murdering other people,
Yeah.
and it gets crazy. I mean, I guess if yeah, the spoiler pretty much is when she was younger, the hospital, she was there because she had like a conjoined twin on the back of her head
Yeah.
who somehow has like supernatural powers, able to
Yeah, it gave her
control
super strength.
electricity and able to make her super strong and do freaking martial arts and shit.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The super strength, and it was like a psychokinesis thing that she shared with her. Well, more so than that, that's where she was able to talk through the electronics. You know what I mean? Didn't
Yeah.
I don't think it quite explained that, but
No, it never explains it. It's just he
I
can
loved it.
speak through electric stuff, and like he
I love
explodes
that.
that cop's pacemaker at one point.
Yeah, and the lights, anything electricity, he has some kind of control over it, and I
Yeah.
love that. And speaking, and basically, when she was getting interrogated, and he goes, "Oh, he wants to talk to you," and on the phone, technically, it was coming from the other side of her head, just speaking through
Yeah.
the phone, saying something like, "Oh, that stupid bitch! Did you know I was squatting up in her attic? You took something of mine. I want him back." And at that point, still, I didn't know that, what was going on. I just thought it was like a separate that thing, And then when it's like you get surprises in phases. First thing you think, okay, it's maybe a ghost because of the abusive husband, and you saw how the blender turns on, the refrigerator door just opens. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
classic James Wan.
The TV like flicks through the channels.
Yeah, and then she was sitting there, and you just saw the back of her head, so you thought maybe it's the wife or something like that. And then the light flickered, and she's gone. But that's because she used her quick martial art reflexes to get out of there, not like a teleporting ghost. Later on, we discovered that it's a physical being, so that was a shocker thing to learn. Then the final shocker, again, spoilers, was that it was living in the back of her head.
Yeah, it's literally her brain. Like it's like when they did surgery on her to remove the conjoined twin. To remove the conjoined twin, they like cut off the arms and cut off most of the face, but like some part of the brain is still in there, and they just shoved it back in.
Yeah, part of the face, like it had a face, and part of the face is still like it was the skinned version of it, and shoved it into the skull.
Yeah,
right.
And when her and her abusive boyfriend were having a fight, he like shoved her head into the wall, and that kind of woke him up.
Yeah. And that's why I thought it was still a ghost, because she was seeing it, but she was seeing like a shadow thing of it. So it seemed like it was attacking her too, but no.
Yeah, and that's why you have the whole scene where you get to see her like transform into Gabriel, the freaking guy in her head,
the hooker lockup.
And because he's on like the backside of her head, he like freaking snaps her freaking arms backwards, and
that transformation was beautiful. I saw when I saw that happening, I said, I think I get it now, because once you saw the reveal too, like it was living in the back of it. Well, and the whole thing when the mother and the sister were watching the videotapes of it, and how they got shocked watching at that footage of the thing behind her, because we're gonna wake up Gabriel. And that was another reveal, because it made it seem like, okay, like maybe it's like a multiple personality thing. So they're going to do hypnosis, right, to unleash Gabriel and she would transform. But literally, that second persona was literally that tumor thing growing behind her. So when the camera, panned, and then you saw it, and then the mother and then the sister screamed, I was like, oh, I get it. They're screaming.
Yeah.
It cracked me up too. It's great, stupid fun. I've never seen anything like that. Quite done. I mean, I've seen stuff, like an Eva twin or like a multiple personality thing, but it's like they combined all that together, and he created something kind of unique, something that I've never seen put together in one thing. So I like that. Mike also says here, how the fuck did that work? Did her head call them? LOL. That whole thing was goddamn ridiculous. But the thing was, remember, he controls electricity. So he can control using his. You can't think too hard on this. Yeah.
I mean, you got to think. I don't know. I'm like jumping to the end of the movie. About,
John Star says here that the whole revival in the jail cell was amazing, and absolutely,
like that whole shit, because they there's so much shit in the movie that you're kind of like, why are we seeing this? Like the whole scene where he kidnaps Gabriel kidnaps their biological mother.
Oh yeah. I just thought it was a random person. I didn't quite get.
Yeah,
Yeah. The tour
I
guide. Yeah,
I just thought it was, oh, this is just going on a killing spree just at random.
yeah.
And it's the fact that how she just falls through the floor, just
Oh right.
goes right through 2 stories of the
Yeah,
house.
yeah. Falls down, and then the daughter, or I forgot her name now, but how she just turns around and screams, and just the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, that just reminded me of like
What is it?
I was watching it with a friend and he freaking bursted out laughing when she
Oh, you're watching
screamed
this with a
like that.
friend. Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
well,
Yeah.
you got to remember, I watched this in the theater.
Oh God. Oh man. Yeah.
And that's a
Um.
funny thing. It wasn't even in like Dolby, like the what it the Dolby's pretty much it's like IMAX is the premium
Yeah.
theater experience, and usually they have like the whatever the big movie for the weekend is goes in the Dolby. But here's the thing,
Yeah.
Shang-Chi's been in Dolby for like the past like 3 to 4 weeks. It's like
Shang-Chi. Wow.
AMC's like, nah, none of these movies are worth
The
are, are,
normal
wor- are
smoke.
worth are worth taking Shang-Chi out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see.
Like not even this weekend, and this weekend the freaking got Dear Evan Hansen, which is a musical.
Oh, what is it? What's the
Uh,
musical?
Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen. Okay, no, I
I
don't know
haven't been
that.
hearing very good things, but
And I think
I
West
may
Side
watch it.
Story is getting another thing. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
out yet, or I think they're still doing it. But
yeah, but
what I
that's
wanted to
getting
say,
a little sidetracked. But
yeah,
let's get back.
yeah. Let's get back into *Malignant*, because
But yeah,
when she fell through, also she screamed, and also it was kind of ridiculous. I found too, and kind of cracked me up because it was ridiculous. Was she still gets blamed for all that? That's why she was in the interrogation. But I would think that
yeah,
cop would vouch because the face. He got a good look
yeah.
at that. It looks totally nothing.
And there's
Uh,
no way she could have done
yeah,
like all those stunts,
yeah.
the
So and
flipping around and shit.
they still blamed her.
Yeah,
And yeah, the flipping around, the martial arts was epic. And here, Movie Mike and China Donstar Raja have something to say. I simultaneously hate and love this stupid fucking movie. How do we explain all the things he can do? He can control electricity, and Roger says maybe he can throw his voice like a
well,
magician act.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's throwing his voice. I think he's
No.
literally just talking through the phone because it's an electrical device.
Yeah, which he was doing at the beginning and even in the flashback
Yeah, and
throughout
he
the
in
film.
every scene
Talks through the
there's
radio.
always like the lights flicker and whatnot.
Yes. I'm trying to think what kind of thing was like that where it was speaking through the electricity, but it's that.
Oh
It's
no!
not.
Right at the beginning, he was speaking through the radio,
Yeah,
like in
no,
the
no.
flashback.
But I meant there's like another movie where it's
Oh,
that kind of same explanation where it's a power that causes them to do this. You know what I mean? And not like that's the explanation for it there. So that's like the same
maybe
explanation
the
here.
excuse is he's like half dead.
Yeah.
So he's like, because
It's
there's
like a
always the thing
mutant power.
where the dead has like power over electricity and shit.
Yeah. I think also it's like a mutant power. And if you think about it, that girl, she now fits in. If you've ever seen Doom Patrol, she fits right in to Doom Patrol in that mansion, because there are a bunch of freaks and weirdos in there with weird, unorthodox. Not is it unorthodox or unconventional kind of superpowers? So she fits right in there. Like we're kind of like the rejects go, or like New Mutants. So she would fit right in because now she's got super strength, super agility, and all that. Okay. I hope WB continues with the theater HBO Max same day releases. I'm loving it. I doubt they will though. They lost Nolan over this shit.
Yeah, Christopher
Me too,
Nolan.
Mike. Oh, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
What do you mean they lost Nolan over this
Christopher
shit?
Nolan just completely dipped out of Warner Brothers, so he's no longer gonna make movies with Warner.
In other words, I doubt that they will. They lost. So Nolan, in other words, Nolan doesn't like that they're doing the simultaneous release. Well, he likes that.
No, no, he hates that.
Oh, Nolan, he hates that.
Yeah, yeah. He's working with Universal now.
Oh no, I'm with Mike saying where he says, "I hope WB continues with the theater HBO Max same day release." I really think they should because my cardiologist last when I saw him like a week ago, he said he went to the theater and it's like a high traffic time period for that, where normally it would be a lot of people, and it was only 8 people, including him and his kids. So yeah, I think I can't remember what movie it was they saw though, but it was like a big budget one, a well known film. I think it might have been like Jungle Cruise or something, and there wasn't,
Well,
you
to
know,
be fair, Jungle Cruise that's been a while since that came out. It's been like a month.
okay, then maybe it's not, it wasn't Jungle Cruise, but then it was like
No,
something
I mean
new.
to explain why there
Oh,
might be less people. Because when I I've been going to the theater, it's definitely less people. There's still people there. When I went to go see, I think it was Candyman. There was quite a bit of
oh
people
wow,
in
you
there.
saw that in the theaters as well.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay, and there's quite a bit of people you said, or less people?
yeah, there was quite a bit of people in there.
Quite a people, but would you say still less than normal?
I mean, less than normal, but still,
Still, so you feel as if
it looks like it's been more and more people going. Like I saw
man,
the Nobody. That was the first
oh
movie I
nobody, yeah.
saw. Uh, that was the first movie I saw. When I got the vaccine. Way
Okay.
back in like, what was it, March, April? I think it was April maybe.
Oh,
And there wasn't that many people in there.
okay. See, and also real quick too, and we'll get back to this too. Roger says, on a side note, you two should do a show talking about Old and how batshit bad it is. Well,
Yes,
you've seen Old, but
we
I didn't see it yet. But you
yeah,
told me what the twist was.
it is hot garbage. It is trash. It
Wow.
is. It's not as bad as The Happening, but it's
I,
pretty
I thought
damn
the
bad.
happening was still funny, even though yeah, it wasn't that great. I love just that concept, and the thing that I found funny was just the way people would just kill themselves, like the guy who let the lawnmower run him over. Um, there's a scene, even though I know it's kind of kids, but it just was kind of like it surprised us. I saw that film with Brian, right, and we just started cracking up because there were 2 kids. Do you remember that happening? There were 2 kids that got shot in that, and you didn't expect that. Like they wouldn't show that or show 2 kids. I mean, and it actually kind of showed like them, like the back and the blood splat. Like
Yeah.
I think it showed the impact. So people were like shocked at that. But I mean, it was just kind of funny and shocking because it's funny because we didn't expect that they would go there and show kids get killed, but they did. So yeah, uh, and people just jumping off of the high places. John Leguizamo, when they crashed, and he just took a piece of glass and just started cutting his wrists and his arms, and just like it's a normal thing. But yeah, to me that the deaths were the highlight in that film.
Yeah. I mean, in Old, I think Old is PG-13. I can't remember exactly. Might be
Oh,
rated R. Yeah, it's PG-13,
mm,
and there's probably only one cool kill in
mm.
the movie. I mean, I guess I can talk about it. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
really care
okay,
about the spoilers.
yeah, okay.
Um, one of the chicks, she's like a model. She has like a calcium deficiency. So
Oh,
when
no.
as she grows old,
Oh,
her bones come all fucked up, and her bones will like break and then heal back in a fucked up place.
oh, that's interesting. I would like to see that. I would
Yeah,
just see
just
that
look up the
part.
scene though. It's not
Yeah.
worth watching the whole movie for that.
Ooh, yeah, I could picture that healing like wrong because it heals super fast.
Yeah.
I
So
like that concept.
it
I dig it.
it's
Yeah.
it's weird. The acting
Oh,
overall is terrible in that movie,
oh,
which is just
God.
crazy because it's like that chick she played the Jewish girl in Jojo Rabbit, which she was
I
actually
haven't
really
seen
good
that.
in that.
Oh,
She was really good in that, and she
I should see
plays
that.
the main character's like daughter in
Mm.
Old, and she was dog shit. She was complete dog shit, and so was Alex Wolff. And we've seen Alex Wolff has done good. He was good in Hereditary.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, Hereditary. Is that the dark-haired boy at the end?
yeah,
When okay, and he was in Jumanji, right? The two
yeah,
remakes of not remakes, but continuations. Okay, he
yeah,
was good in that too, and
yeah.
he was
He's
shit in
dog
this
shit.
film.
He was dog shit in this. All the actors are
Wow.
terrible. There was
Oh,
what's his face? I trying to remember, but he played like an older guy. He has like I think it was like schizophrenia or something, some
oh.
like mental deficiency.
He has this in
So
this film. He has a schizophrenia in this film.
like he sees shit and like is paranoid schizophrenic. I think it is. And
Okay.
so as he get as you know the beach like increases the time in which these diseases affect them.
Mm.
He just becomes paranoid and like he kills the black guy on the that is with them because he thinks he's gonna kill him. It's ridiculous and like oh yeah there was with the main girl the leading actress
Yeah.
she had a tumor and like it was just like growing and growing in like the side of her stomach and
Oh.
they had to do like an emergency like surgery on it and they pulled out like a tumor that was the size of a cantaloupe. I'm like, how
Oh.
is that even possible?
Wow. I got to see these scenes. These are the things to check out on YouTube. So I want to see the
I
thing where the
mean,
bones broke and healed
there's
in a
the whole
puppet
pregnancy
face,
scene as
the
well.
tumor. Oh,
Yeah,
what's that
but the
like?
thing is, well, what happens is um the son of the main characters and the daughter of two of the other characters
Yeah.
they get a little freaky because they're like, oh, like, we were just playing. They're like off
Oh,
screen for a bit and then they freaking start
yeah,
uh
yeah.
they
And he
start
got her
having
pregnant.
yeah and so she births a baby in like a minute and then the baby
Oh,
instantly dies due to lack of attention.
what does that mean? Lack of attention.
uh can't because it's like I don't know, it's like just because it's like a newborn, it need like a newborn always needs like immediate attention
And
like when
since
it's born.
since time was going by so quickly, it didn't
Yeah,
have. Oh, that's kind of weird.
yeah.
Or the baby didn't have a chance even to grow a little bit to
Nope.
like 2 years.
Died
Oh,
immediately right after it was born.
oh God. Okay.
And then like 20 minutes later the baby is all bones.
Oh, now, okay. You told me that it was because it was a government thing, and they were doing a testing on a drug,
Yeah.
right? And they put them on this island because it makes they age
Yeah,
quickly. Is it,
everybody on the island,
did they create?
everybody they personally target people who have terminal diseases
Uh,
and send them as like, hey, here's a free vacation or something like that.
oh God.
And when they go there, they give them a drink. There's like, hey, welcome to the island. It's like some alcoholic drink, but there's like a medical elixir in there that is
Oh,
it's like some concoction that the scientists are working on that say like the freaking chick with the tumor.
yeah,
They
yeah.
give her a medical concoction that might cure a tumor, but or it might not. It's literally like a test concoction,
I
and they
see.
give it to her,
Okay.
and then they send them all to the beach to see if any of them get healed of their terminal illnesses because of these drinks.
And it's a test. They don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and they use the beach because they're able to see what happens to the like how it affects them within a day instead of having to study someone for a whole lifetime.
But now this beach, did they create the beach? Did they explain why it's like that?
Nope, they just said, "Oh, we found it one day."
They just found it one day, and it just
Yeah.
happened. Oh, okay.
But yeah.
They're saying something here. Love the score, the cinematography, the acting was great.
That's
he
on. He was talking about. No, he's talking about Candyman.
Oh, Candyman. Okay, and then so bad, says Roger. I think Happening was better. At least Happening is laughable. Old sounds stupid as hell, Mike says, and Mike also says if anyone besides Shyamalan had written it, it would have gone in the trash. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, I see. Because it has its name attached to it, so that's why it got made. Only because it's
I think
Shyamalan.
the only reason how is because
Wow.
it like as a concept, it's a pretty easy concept to like pitch, and Shyamalan has had like a good run recently.
Yeah, I guess
with Glass and Split and The Visit, which have been
Glass was okay. I kind of like Glass. I thought that was pretty good.
Those were received better and also made more money. Yeah. So I guess Universal had more faith in them for the next project.
Well, guess what? I think maybe now they probably lost quite a bit of faith in him. Now at this point,
I mean, I don't know how much Old made. I know it didn't make that much because it was right in the middle of this pandemic.
Oh yeah, and then you can blame that and not blame the fact that the film is shit. But and you told me something similar with James Wan with this film, since he made the studio.
Oh yeah, this movie flopped. This movie
Malignant flopped.
Yeah, it flopped hard. There was like maybe 3 other people in the theater when I saw it.
Such a shame, And you told me the studio said, "Well, you made us a lot of money, so this next one, make whatever you want."
Oh yeah, you can
really crazy.
I have no doubt that's how Warner Brothers was like, "Okay, James Wan, you made us like over $1 billion with Aquaman, and you made us a whole cinematic universe with Conjuring."
Oh, James Wan did Aquaman?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. The horror. Wow.
Yeah, he also did Fast and Furious 7.
Okay, so that's hence the kung fu action in this one.
Yeah. And so they were like, "You can do whatever the fuck you want."
and he certainly did. I thought this was pretty genius and pretty unique, and not a lot of folks probably seen anything quite like that. And it is a shame it flopped, but you know what? This seems like it's one where it would start to get better through word of mouth and as people talk about it. Like
I think it would. I think this would be a movie. I think this would be one of those movies that becomes like a cult classic.
Yes, and so rightfully does it deserve. I mean, to me, this was like an instant cult classic then, and an instant classic. 7.5.
But yeah, we should mention the prison scene.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is like, it pretty much goes from a 0 to 11 on the flick of a die, and it's like super gory. And it's just it's kind of laughable because every once in a while you just see like her face like just looking back at you because it's like from the other side.
Yeah,
and it looks
and her eyes are closed, and
it looks so funky. But it's like it's
and obviously, even just her body as a whole must be, because it's able to break the other way and contort and stuff, and she took all that damage. So her body is still, it's not like say when she's back to herself again, like she's still like a human frail body, is because if her body can take all that beating and has that strength and agility, she must be able to maybe train it and can become a superhero.
Yeah, that's why you have the whole like
that scene. If he can do it, then I can do it.
Super cheesy scene where she's like, it's like, if he can do it, I can do it. Freaking pulls the whole bed up.
Yes, I love that, and
I love how they set up for a sequel where she's all like, "I'll be ready next time."
And she's in jail. See that concept, like where it's in the mind and something is locked up in your mind. That's been done before. So this is what I'm talking about. But that's why. But it's never been done in that way. Putting, in such a way, this kind of concept. Like I'll give you an example. Even though it's a series, Supernatural has done it. Michael, the Archangel Michael from a different dimension, possessed Dean, and he was the Archangel Michael was in possession of Dean's body and was controlling him, making him do some very bad things. But eventually, Dean regained control of his body, and it went into a thing in the episode where it went into his mind. So you see it where it's at, and him and his friends were able to, and his brother went into his mind with, and helped fight Michael in in the mind, the whole mental thing. And in the real world, they're just standing there. You know what I'm saying? But in the mind, it's something else. And they managed to lock him up, kind of like what they did at the end of Malignant. And he's locked up in there. So he's trapped inside his mind, and he can't get out.
Yeah.
So see, that's why I've seen things like that before. So that's why when it ended, I was like, oh, this is interesting twist. So now it's literally, suppressing a like a multiple person, an evil persona inside you, in your brain. But you took it a step further, where it's literally a physical being that can surface from that, and it's just, I really love that. And how about just that whole fighting, when fighting all those cops, and the martial arts and the
flipping
gun
around everywhere and just
God, this is something where I could just imagine if Spider-Man was there, or Captain, or Daredevil, or I don't know, Hellcat, which is Jessica Jones' sister, she becomes Hellcat, and she's got all that agility stuff. I'm trying to pick people that have the type of agility that she has or he has, and have them fight. I think, that'd be something. Yeah, it was just amazing that I enjoyed that.
I looked it up, and currently the worldwide gross of Malignant is $24 million.
Oh, so not so much at all.
That is really low. Yeah. Just in comparison, the budget was $40 million.
Oh no. Oh no. I hope the studio doesn't get pissed off at him now. Maybe they can say,
I mean, who knows? I mean, they could. It's a kind of scenario where they could just excuse it, and plus it was day and date with HBO Max.
Yeah. When it's on HBO Max, do they make money from that or no?
I have no idea. Considering there's, I don't know if there's really a way for them to tell.
I see.
What like why a person subscribes to HBO Max, because the person could just be subscribing for the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah.
But I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, see, do you feel this is a film that if it wasn't in, say, the pandemic thing never took place and everything was still normal, do you think it would have been a lot more successful? Like they would have at least made their money back?
I think it might have had a solid opening weekend.
Okay.
But I don't think, like, with the way they marketed it, I don't think the general audiences would have liked it at all.
Oh, that is too. Even
actually,
I would like it because of the martial arts.
The cinema score of
the score was great. I gotta say.
No, the cinema score. It's pretty much like a review thing, or it takes an aggregate of audience members who watch the film, and it's on like a letter grade. So usually horror movies get around a B. This got a C.
Oh. Yeah.
And I think, let me check Rotten Tomatoes to see.
The reason why is maybe they didn't market it well.
Oh no, they didn't market it well at all.
None
of the schlocky like B movie plot stuff was in that trailer.
I had no idea what the premise was. I just knew that I wanted to watch it. Yeah. And I gotta say though, because you brought up the word score, but you're talking about something different. I did think the musical score though.
They had that
great, that
kind of like that. It had that little like spin on the "Where's My Mind" from the Pixies.
Oh, really? Okay, like a metal type thing, but it had like a nice melody.
Well, it's not metal. It's like
metal.
I would listen. Just listen to the song "Where's My Mind." It's pretty much like
it's the same song they use in the opening credits of this, and then they did it again after he captured the mother and put her up in that thing, and he started. Or was it that when he did? I think he did that, and then when he was sharpening and making his weapon out of that trophy, it was during that scene when he was making his thing, and it like a montage type thing of him creating his weapons and his clothes. It played that same music. Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. I can't do it, but it just sounded really, really good. And when I heard
Well,
that,
I
I
think
love
the
music like that. It's so
"Where's My
good.
Mind" that was played. I think during um like the city wide shots, and it was
Okay.
like boo doo doo doo.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think it's what you're talking about, but
No.
that was I noticed that because it's like it's kind of funny. The song is called "Where's My Mind," and
So let me
just
see here. Will it Mel?
well, if we play the song in here, probably get copyright strike.
Oh, that would not be good. Okay, okay. I was about to open it up, if you know what I mean, and then play that part.
Yeah.
Even if I just did it for like a few seconds or so, you could still get a strike. You think?
Um,
That's too bad.
you might. I wouldn't risk it.
I wouldn't risk it. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, on
It's really good music.
On Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score of the film
Yeah.
is a 53.
Okay.
So
That's pretty still, but even though 53 is still like in the middle, but that's still middle of 100. It's still bad. I consider.
yeah, and though the critic rating is 76, so
Oh, see.
I mean, hey,
Yeah, that's why I think this is one that will do better, after it comes down and everything, and VHS sales, um, and maybe digital copies. I don't know. This might be one I might want to buy, if I can find it cheap enough, you know.
I
But
mean,
it's
hey,
got to be
I
like
wouldn't
really
be
cheap.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a one of the Black Friday titles.
Yeah, if it's a Black Friday title, I'll buy it. But something kind of off subject that I do have to get before it runs out is the Arrow edition of Legend for $34.99 right now.
Mm.
It is, and it comes with. Someone told me that it comes with some like UK cut, so I do want to see it. I don't think the movie is tremendously good or even really good, but what elevates that film is the cinematography, the music. Um, I can't say so much of the. I guess the acting was pretty decent for the most part. Um,
Really, I thought it was
but
like Lifetime
in
qualities.
Legend,
Oh
the
no, not Legend. I thought you were talking about Malignant.
no, I'm talking about Legend. The soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, that was great, and just the cinematography of that, how they really captured the whole uh, like fable or fantasy, kind of look of things, and with the unicorns and the set pieces and decorations and just the location, the lighting, that all looked great. Uh, the film itself was not good. I thought, the story was, it's not. But it uh, those deficiencies, it makes up for that with that other stuff that I mentioned that were good, and that's what makes it, worth watching still. Uh, but really, if those things were not so good and we're just going by the movie itself, the plot, that's not so good. It's pretty bad, I think. So good. Um, what's what I'm looking for? Hold on here. Upsales. Like when you buy like a vacuum cleaner, but the upsell products are like the filters and stuff like that. That's where you make most of the money. That kind of thing. So the film itself was bad, but it's the upsell stuff attached to that film that make it good. I don't know. I think that's maybe not such a good analogy, but I can't think of any other way to say it. Whereas something like Lord of the Rings, everything about that was great. From the effects, the story, the
Yeah.
acting. Yeah, that's what I loved. But I still want to get Legend. And that's a Ridley Scott film, because I liked it for those reasons, and that's why I will continue to watch it. And parts of it that make me laugh, like with Tom Cruise, he finds a piece of armor. I think Tom, if you would have, I think his name was Jack in that film, Jack, Tom, aka Tom Cruise. If you would have looked just a little bit further, you would have found the pants to those armor. Instead, think about it just like wearing the shirt part of the armor, but without the pants. So he literally had just like a loincloth underwear thing under it, and it looked very awkward. and it looked really stupid. And I just really think you should have found the matching. They're called greaves, or the pants for it, the matching armor pants. But yeah. Anyways. Oh, yeah. Mike says it was so out of place. It really annoyed me. I hated that fucking song. Oh, I had no idea what the premise was. I hated that fucking song. They played it 2 or 3 times. It was. I sprayed a little on when I laugh on my computer. Let me wipe that. That's okay. It was so out of place. It really annoyed me. Well, there won't be a 4K version, although Reminiscence is getting 4K. So who the hell knows? I'm not sure what Reminiscence is. Mike, are you referring to the music I'm talking about in the Malignant? That's the one you're talking about? That you hated that music and it really annoyed you? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I can't do it, but I mean, it's really adrenaline pumping. Every time that music did come on, like from the initial thing in the credits, I heard, I'm like, oh, there's some really good music. I really like that. It's getting my blood flowing. It's getting me excited. And then we cut to the 1993 flashback, and I was like, wait, this looks like a bad 90s B flick, which I guess was done by design because it's 1993 supposed to be. That same song that Sean mentioned.
Yeah, the Where's My Mind, like mimic.
They play. Oh, that's the mimic. Okay, that's the song then.
Well, no, not the one you're talking about. Like, there was no like distorted guitar or anything. In that.
What did you say, Mike? They played it 2 or 3 times, and then it was so out of place it really annoyed me. Lifetime movie is exactly what this film felt like for the first 20 minutes. Okay.
I think all the acting was like that. Like when
it was exceptionally bad at the beginning.
Yeah, like when the main character was like telling her sister that she was adopted. I thought that, and her face was just kind of like.
I see what you mean, but you know what? It didn't look like. To me, there's a difference between that type of bad acting. No coach for that actually, and then kind of like the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s bad acting, where it lends itself a hand. I can't find the right words for it. I'm really sorry about this, but it's kind of like, I give an example. Like let's take something like Evil Dead, and even particularly Evil Dead 2, right? The Sam Raimi film. Lines like in Army of Darkness. It's like, it's biting his hand, the head of the girlfriend. Tool shed. The way he says it, and you're okay. You're all right. And then he jumps out and grabs his reflection in the mirror. Oh, but actually before that, he says, we just chopped up our girlfriend with the chainsaw. Do you think that's all right? And it comes up and chokes. It's like such an exaggerated, like kind of bad acting, like that Bruce Campbell has in something like that. Or in a lot of, like Roger Corman type flicks.
It just feels so strange.
It works though. It worked for those, and maybe because it is a product of its time.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about in this movie, it's so strange, especially when, especially if you're like went into it like I did and was expecting like a Conjuring type movie.
I was expecting that as well, and like I said, I thought that as well. From the beginning.
Because I was like, are they expecting us to take this seriously?
But here's the thing: when that was happening, I thought, oh. Okay, this is good. And then when you saw the thing, Gabriel creeping, even that, because you saw it like the old man that was in his fancy swanky apartment building, and you saw the water dripping from the the window. When he went to close it, you saw behind him he was standing there. Yeah. And then when he turned around, it was gone. So I still thought it was like something spiritual, something like a ghost. Yeah. I think what really kept me so involved and forgiving of the film and its shortcomings, and didn't see these flaws that you're talking about, and it wasn't so apparent to me, and that's a good thing, is because it kept throwing those curveballs of, you're thinking it's a Conjuring thing, and then suddenly, okay, now we realize that it's actually a physical being like a Psycho, like a Seven, like a John Doe.
Well,
Right?
well, I mean, like with the Conjuring
But
movies, they
yeah,
usually take themselves pretty seriously. But in
yeah,
this, it's like you're not expected to take it super seriously.
that. Oh,
And
yeah,
I think maybe
that's
if
what I'm
I
saying.
would rewatch it, I might enjoy it
You
more.
might enjoy it more, and keep your mind open to the things I'm talking about, because it's actually like there's a first act, a second act, a third. It almost it's split in different acts, but it's all encompassing as one thing. So then when you finally the revelations, each revelation is like the end and beginning of a new act. So when you discover it is a physical being, something you can actually punch in Conjuring and Insidious, when it's a ghost, your fists are just going to go right through it. You can't affect something like that. None. I mean, who knows where those powers lie? I mean, actually, she is kind of physical, because if you saw The Nun, which I also kind of like, it was able to grab people up. He was able to smear the blood on her. So it is still a physical being, even outside of possessing a body. But anyways, getting back to this. So when I discovered that, okay, it's like this, it's like a physical killer. And then when I saw the agility it had during the chase, going down the fucking that stair thing,
Yeah,
that stair thing, but like a stairwell thing, but the
yeah,
outdoor ones. I think what's
emergency
the hell you call
stairs,
that? Emergency
the fire
stairs.
escape.
The fire escape. That's not a normal stairs then. Okay, well that thing, and it kept going, down, and he's going down like fucking Jet Li or something, and even the detective's looking, and it's like, holy shit, and he still gives chase. So this detective, he's got, because he got his police training, and he goes, oh, what am I doing? He jumps off the thing and hits the garbage bin and rolls off. The man still has the fortitude to get up and still give chase and shooting it like I'm watching fucking Seven or fucking 8mm. Like he's like a cop, or like I'm watching a Lethal Weapon, or watching like what is that, the Deliver Us from Evil with Eric Bana, that one, because it's a hardened cop. Sarchi was his name, based on a true story, whatever. Maybe, maybe not. But anyways, and it just going into that basement area, and the way it moved, and then when it made it escape. Oh, that scene where it's hiding on top of the stagecoach, like this, like something I saw that's very akin to Apocalypto, when the main hero of Apocalypto was the perspective of it. He's laying down on the tree like this, and the camera's top view, like top down, and you see the enemies coming underneath him while he's like trying to, like, oh fuck, that type of thing. But in this situation, it was Gabriel that's up on the stagecoach trying to elude the cop chasing him with such vigor and determination, looking for him. And it does that perspective, that camera angle, where he's like down below the cop looking, not knowing he's way up above the thing. Then he jumps on him and he fights him more. And when he makes his escape, flipping and going up the thing, holy shit. Right there I knew there's some Chinese Kung Fu involved. Because when you do shit like that, that's Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Tony Jaa type shit. And my heart, I was like, it's like I may have like 1,000 beats, 20,000 beats every 5 seconds, but it was like so fast. It's like one beat, real fast. I was so excited. And then, so that's another revelation right there. And later on, when we discover, oh, so she's a twin. Okay. Actually, I don't think we got to that point. Oh, actually before that, when we discovered that in the interrogation, then the accused was her. It accused her, the girl, that maybe she's a killer in the interrogation. But then we get the phone call. See, fooled me. I thought this was literally Gabriel using his psychokinetic powers from elsewhere, making that call. I didn't know. So I was like, oh, joy. This is like Seven. This is like Seven when the killer's calling in. Or like something like The Howling, when the Eddie, the werewolf killer, was calling in, and he likes to call in to Dee Wallace about and brag about the murders he's committed. I was like, this is a physical being that the cops can listen to it. And now the cops believe. So she's off the hook. Then later on, the revelation in the jail cell, when we discover it was literally, it's not just a hidden persona in her head, but it literally is another being. That's not just a persona submerged in her subconsciousness, but a real being submerged within her skull. That's the final act. And then the whole thing, the killing of the streetwalkers, she gets out, and then the killing of the cops, that is like an equivalent of like in Kiss of the Dragon when Jet Li was fighting all those those karate, those cops, training in the
Yeah.
karate. You beat them all up. If you've ever seen the Kiss of the Dragon, so that's what that was like. The only difference is Jet Li was the good guy fighting the crooked cops. This thing was a bad guy. Okay, one man army fighting the good guy cops. So
Yeah.
I just watch it again, and you may enjoy it a little bit more. And keep in mind about the separate acts. And don't think of it as a straight up horror. Think of it as a kung fu flick as well, and I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I
Worked for me.
mean, it definitely you definitely need to go in with a certain expectation, or else you
Yeah,
are gonna be very surprised. You're gonna
yeah.
like if you're going in like wanting a Conjuring type movie, you're gonna
Mm.
be rudely awakened.
I went in thinking it was a Conjuring movie, but came out of it pleasantly surprised, at what I got. Very similarly to Brian Alexander, who moved to Phoenix, Arizona, uh, went went in to watch Under Siege for Steven Seagal, but came out a Tommy Lee Jones fan. You know, so it's that type of thing. I may have gone in expecting a Conjuring, but came out of it loving a new type of genre that James Wan has kind of created, a kung fu horror slasher flick. And this amalgamation of something like this is not the first time this has happened. The first time I discovered such a thing in the 80s, and even though the film was slightly before the 80s, it was in the 70s, called Legend of the Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, also known as Seven Brothers Meet Dracula, starring Peter Cushing, and it was a joint production of Hammer Films, right? That's known for making those kind of things, and the Shaw brothers, that's known for making the Chinese kung fu films back
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
the
they're
70s.
releasing that Shaw
So
scope.
I love that Shaw scope.
Well,
Great.
Arrow's releasing like a huge box set of them.
Oh, yeah. I would like to get that. Yeah, yeah. And hopefully, if it includes that, the seven brothers and their one sister face off against Dracula. And I think initially they wanted to get Christopher Lee for that because Peter Cushing as Van Helsing, but he didn't want to take the role, so they got some other dude. And you only seen that dude at the beginning, and then later on at the end, and then he shapeshifted into some Chinese guy, and then at the end shapeshifted back for the final confrontation. I always love those Peter Cushing Hammer films, with Peter Cushing in them, and when he faces off against Dracula, I would just even the ones that get hate, Dracula AD and everything, something about Peter Cushing facing off against Dracula, even if it's not Christopher Lee as Dracula. You had I think it's called Bride of Dracula, and yeah, that's the David Peel one. Again, they wanted to get Christopher Lee for that, but he didn't want to take it. But yeah, that Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires were the first time when I saw such a mix, and I'm like, the fuck is this that I'm watching? Am I watching a Shaw Brothers Kung Fu films? Because I've seen a shit ton of those, but what is this shit? I mean, this is like vampires. I'm just a kid, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. And they're vampires. They got swords. They got masks. And when that mask came off, it's a fucking vampire and fighting zombies with bean bag filling inside them, like sand inside their filled body. So when they're doing the kung fu and hitting it, they kind of crack open and the sand spills out of them. They're like a zombie thing. And I'm, what is this? This is fantastic, and I just absolutely love Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. And now look at this: we got Blade that mixes kung fu. That's right, with vampirism and vampires. You got Blade, Wesley Snipes, and you're seeing more and more of a mixture of stuff like that. And I think James Wan took it a step further by mixing Conjuring type film and something like Seven with Kevin Spacey type Seven killer and an 8mm and those types of down to earth kind of crazy killers, a Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, taking that genre and ghost type of genre, making you think it was a ghost, and psychokinetic abilities like mutants and X-Men. You see, he threw that in there too. Super strength, psychokinesis, and multiple personality or split dual personality disorder, and Chinese kung fu. So now that I'm just thinking about it, and as I just said that, there's more mixed into this genre than first realized. And first we were talking about that, right? Hear what I said? Because of the super strength, the psychokinesis. So there's more to it than that when upon closer inspection. And I like it. So yeah, I definitely want to give this another watch. Absolutely. And I do want to own this. Oh, so great.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I still don't really know what to think. Like, I've seen
Oh,
both sides of like the
okay.
complaints and the the praise,
Okay.
and it's like it's just so weird in how it tells its story, because it's kind of like it's like the schlocky B movie,
Shocking.
like it's got kind of like the kills and the tone of like a Sam Raimi movie mixed with an Italian like
Yes.
a giallo movie,
Yes. Yeah.
and but then also with like the framing and like the cinematography of like a James Wan Conjuring movie,
Yeah.
and it's just so strange. I don't
Because
know how to feel
that
about it.
that face, when I saw that fucking face, and when she drew it too, that was nothing. When you see the real thing, it kind of also reminded me of if you've seen the Argento Phenomena is the name of the film, which stars Jennifer Connelly, and there's a creature in there, and it gets revealed at the end where the face is just really hideously, it's just deformed and ugly, and I can't think which is worse. But to be quite honest, I think the one in Phenomena is a bit more grosser than this one. But yeah, I can see what you mean by that, like an Italian giallo, something like that. They have,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
very clashing tones.
yes. And what has clashing tones? There's an artiste that's known for that, and it works. It all comes down to when people were making fun of Todd Howard, head lead design or whatever of Bethesda, whatever he is. Todd Howard, him, it just works. I was explaining, Fallout 76, people hating on him. Oh, it just works. Well, guess what? That is a motto, and now that is a saying that just is very relevant and can be used in now a positive way. You know what I mean? Because it just works. The clashing of that stuff, like of what you just said, to be quite honest, it works for that film. You either mix all that crazy stuff and go all the way with that. Otherwise, if you tone one part of that concoction that you mix together down just by a little bit, it's gonna fail. You have to go all the way with something like that, or not at all. You know what I mean? And I guess that's why it becomes one of those things where you're either gonna, well, you said there's like a mixed praise of it. Some people hate it, some people love it, and then some
Yeah, it's
people,
like a love it or
oh,
hate it deal.
oh, so it is like a love it or hate it, almost like no in between. For me, is I love it. So I guess that's where that comes in. People are gonna love it or they're
That's the
gonna
thing
hate
though.
it.
I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't know what to feel.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. That's okay. I say watch it again, and it whatever mood you're in. If you feel like you want to see something goofy and like maybe horror, it'll work. If you want to see a kung fu film, martial arts, but you don't quite feel like seeing like The Protector or Legend of Drunken Master or Romeo Must Die, like a Jet Li flick or something like that, Malignant. Or you can do something like Ghost of Mars because that has martial arts in it too, and they're freaky ghost aliens. And you got Natasha Henstridge, and pretty much all of them really. What's her name? Duvall. I think her name is Chloe Duvall. She was also in Clea Duvall. She's in there, and even they're all doing, because they're all military trained, so they're doing kung fu. They're doing martial arts in that one too. Yes, indeed. Those Martian ghost things whipping the buzzsaws and all those spears and stuff, and how they're one of those things got Clea Duvall. She dodged the first two, and then the blade came and chopped her head off, and you saw her head fall on the ground. Her body went the other one way, and her head went the other way. And you have Jason Statham in that one, and I know he's kind of known as like a martial artist, like in Transporter, and here he wasn't doing quite so much martial arts. It was mostly Natasha's part and some of the other soldiers. They kind of did it, but I think Natasha Henstra did most of the martial arts. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say about Malignant. What else do you want to add about that?
I don't know. I think I got all my thoughts out there.
Okay. Oh yeah, we've been talking for like a good hour. We lost our 2 audience members, Mike and Roger, but maybe they'll catch up on it like another time, or future people that want to watch it. I think this is a good length, an hour and 3 minutes.
Yeah,
for something
I'm gonna
like
do final ratings.
Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, let's give our score. You go first.
Well, right now I'm at a 5, leaning towards a 6.
Okay, a 6 is still okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just know I'm just very split on it. It's like there's on one hand, I find it's like really, really funny, and like,
yeah,
and it's more like a gory, like a schlocky, gory, fun movie, like popcorn movie. When on the other hand, it's like, I don't know, some of the time, sometimes some of the times where it like tries to treat it so seriously, I'm like, I don't even know.
It works for that. Keep in mind, let's take a look at something like Troll 2. The guy thought he was making gold, and they were really taking their acting seriously. They really thought, and it's gone down in history. So you could look at it that's kind of like the some of the best parts in a way, because they didn't intend it to be. I'd rather them try to be serious, and it turns out to be something like what you said, kind of goofy and laughable, versus when they're just trying to do it and be funny. Think about it. I mean, this is genuine, trying to make it a serious horror thing, and it turns out to be a little goofy. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just like, I think like movies like Army of Darkness and Evil Dead, and like even Drag Me to Hell, like those Sam Raimi movies, I think they're able to pull it off a little better than this one does.
But I think those were by design to be a little cheesy, or I don't know if the word tongue-in-cheek is the word for it. Is that the word tongue-in-cheek, or
like it knows it's campy.
It knows it's campy, that kind of thing. That's done on purpose. I think in this one, the premise may be a little goofy, but I think they didn't intend it to be quite as campy like what like a Army of Darkness or Evil Dead or Drag Me to Hell. Not quite like that. It just kind of turned out that way because of that weird mixture. I
kind of would have liked it if instead of like the actors playing it straight, I would have liked them to overact
even more. Okay.
Yeah, like kind of like Reanimator or.
Yes, Reanimator's another one to put in. Yeah. The dun 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 dun. Let's see. My cat. You didn't tell me my cat. Oh, and what would the note have said?
Cat dead. Details later.
Later. Yeah. Oh. You know it. So great. I love that. Yeah, that's great dialogue. I am telling you, just like Bruce Campbell and Jeffrey Combs, those guys are just, and there's more, but immediately, right off the bat, those two are just horror geniuses, and they got their craft down pat. And some of the female screen queens, like Barbara Crampton.
Though to be fair, this is kind of like James Wan's first in this kind of like subgenre of horror.
It's like he took some of the pieces of the stuff he's done, because I didn't know he did Aquaman, but I see it now because of the superpowers of the super strength and the psychokinesis. those are trademarks of a superhero and a supervillain. Powers like that. And mutant abilities. So he threw that into the mix, and I just it's oh James Wan, if you ever do see this, and I know you're not, you were a genius, man, and I'm glad you did what you did. Fuck the people that hate it, like absolutely. I could see this as being something where it's people on the fence, but more or less like it a little more than they hate it. And I think you made something that people will, I hate to quote this guy because he's a killer, but but from Seven, Kevin Spacey's character John Doe, and what I've done will be puzzled over. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but we said blah blah blah. We'll be puzzled over for century or for years to come. Like the stuff he did, all the messages and how he killed them in the seven deadly sins
Yeah.
kind of fast. He brought that up. So James Wan, this film is something that's going to be puzzled over for years by scholars and critics alike, and the fans, and people are going to watch it. And before 20, 30, 40, 50 years go by, hey, have you ever seen an old film called Malignant? It was made during the COVID. It was, oh yeah, that's eradicated now, or it could be an apocalyptic world. Who knows? But check it out. It's by this director called James Wan, and he's still making movies now at his old age. And they're watching. Oh, this is a great film. Just like how we reflect back on Evil Dead 2 and the first Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, how we look back some 20, 30 years at these older films. People are going to look back at Malignant. And I've noticed that about films.
I think though, if they look back to like to this year and see the horror output, I think they'd look at Malignant and like more, and that one will be remembered more later than something like Conjuring 3, which was kind of forgettable.
Yeah. Again, I didn't hate Conjuring 3. I just like the other two a lot better. I thought Conjuring 3 was just okay. It's part of the series. It's something, the devil made me do it, and witchcraft mostly type thing, and making a deal with the devil. It seemed like it's something suited for like maybe a supernatural episode, something like that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah. For me, I think I'm gonna give Malignant. I think I already said my score on Facebook. I'm gonna keep to that. I'll say like 7.25 to a 7.5, but I'm just gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and say 7.5 out of 10 for me. And what did you say? You lied at a 6? You could push a strong 6 or a generous 6?
Like a light, like strong 5 to a light 6.
To a light 6. Okay. I'll choose to see the light 6. Either or, it sounds better. 5 isn't bad. 5 is just not good, not bad. Once you start dipping below the 5, that's when you have to worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just slightly above average.
Yes. There we go. Okay. So I shall end this broadcast. I'll end it. And we have to try to plan at some point. Oh, excuse me. To finish off our top 75.
Yeah.
We're going to try to figure out maybe sometime during the weekend. But what we're going to be doing on Thursday?
Yeah.
You know what up. Do you have any idea what you're going to... Oh. Any idea what class you're going to make?
Not sure.
Oh.
I mean...
Did you see that? Watch when we're done with this, immediately go ahead and watch that Classes trailer. I put one up, and it's a 4K one. 4K quality. Matter of fact, we'll get on the Discord, and we'll do that share thing that you did to watch together, and we'll do that, and we'll check out that. It's only like a few minutes long.
Okay.
So I'm going to end this. And guys, anyone out there watching, if you're a player of D2R, join us. Join the Adventurers Guild. Link is in my channel, Banor, in my channel, my YouTube channel. Let us play. Or check my About tab, and on the bottom, you'll see it. Join the Adventurers Guild. Just request to join. Please also subscribe to my very
make sure you, if you do, make sure you fill in the fields, because sometimes I'll get requests in that just have no response, and as far as I know, it's just spam.
Yes. Are you able to see the answers yourself? Because did you see the latest guy who joined? Good guy. He's a cool guy, and he answered it. And he made a nice sentence of what he likes, like Diablo 3 and different kind of games
Yeah.
that he plays. So that's good. You're able to see those answers too, right?
Yeah.
And can you go back to it and see it, like after I
Um,
accepted him, or you can still see it?
let me see.
Yeah, the latest guy, because he answered it quite nicely.
No, I
He,
don't think I can now.
oh, are you able to accept people too? Because you're also
Yeah.
an administrator, like
Yeah.
you, Mike. Don't hesitate. If it looks good to you, put them in there, please.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Well,
beg of you.
I've seen like requests from people where they didn't fill it in, and it's like their name
Oh,
is in all like Arabic or something, and
yeah,
I look at their page and it's like just
a fake
stock
thing.
stuff. Yeah, it
Oh,
looks
forget
fake.
it. If you see any real ones, and it's a real channel, and really answer the question, you're an administrator as well. And Mike and Alagar, and I think a couple of the people. Uh, and if you guys happen to watch it, all you guys, and you too, Sean, accept them. You have the power as well.
Yep.
Put them in, and even put a welcome. The welcome thing. You go under members, and then on the right side part, it'll say um, leave a welcome, a message on the discussion board. You don't have to write anything. You just click it, and it puts let's welcome. It's a default thing, part of the Facebook group page. Let's welcome so and so to the Adventures Guild. You don't have to type anything. You just click it and then hit enter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have the right and the power to do that. Okay, guys.
All right.
So see ya, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll discuss on the Facebook. Oh, we get it. We just get
Yeah.
on Discord. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.